haven't written this book on guard because woe is me. The reason I've written this is because I want to say I know the things that are particularly gendered that I cop in the parliament, that I've seen other women cop, are representative of the way other women in other workplaces are treated. And if I, as a woman of privilege, if I can't call this out, how on earth can I expect a young 16, 17-year-old, working in a shop front to
That's
call
true,
it out?
but the duty goes with that is the responsibility to call out accurately.
Yes.
Not to overreact, not to jump at shadows. And you do see a bit of, in the book you explain, a bit of a media conspiracy against you.
Look, I've
conspiracy is a big word in media. It's usually a stuff-up.
I've spent 10 years copying relentless attacks from some in the media. And it doesn't matter what I say, Neil, they'll find something to complain about. But I tell you what, the moment you call them out, all hell breaks loose. There's some glass jaws out there and, But
it's not a conspiracy.
Well,
I mean, you quote Michael Smith, who no longer barely exists in media anymore.
It may not be a conspiracy, Neil, but it's definitely
But you see conspiracy in the Murdoch media?
Look, I think there is definitely a culture and an attitude that says if you're a woman who stands up and speaks out and has opinions, and particularly from the progressive side of politics, you're a target. And I've experienced it. I'm not going to be shy about calling it out. And I'm saying now, you know what? If you want to give this and dish this stuff out, expect to be called out on it.
Oh, you're entitled to call them out. I'm not arguing about that for a moment. I'm arguing about the accuracy of it. Almost 50 years in the media, I don't think I've seen a conspiracy. I've seen a lot of stuff-ups. And I simply don't...
maybe they're just rude blokes then.
You defend Julia Gillard, Gillian Triggs, Yasmin Abdel-Magid, who was the person who tweeted about Anzac Day. Surely, I mean, it struck me when I read that, hang on, we're defending them because they're women, not because of what they did. Julia Gillard admitted, the Australian got a leak on this after the election, where she'd written notes to exploit her gender, to exploit what she saw as a form of sexism. This could be politically advantageous, is what she was saying. It was a very cynical approach from Julia Gillard. Very cynical.
I think you'd be hard-pressed, Neil, to deny that Julia Gillard didn't cop an overly gendered attack on her as the first female Prime Minister.
Germaine Greer said she had a big bum. I mean, what else?
Germaine Greer might say that. But, I'm talking about the political commentary and the attack from people, even inside her own party, inside the corridors of Parliament, that was very much about the fact that because she was a woman.
But I'm making the point that she exploited that. And as I said, the Australian got this leak after the election where she had marked on a piece of paper in her own handwriting how this was to be exploited. In other words, let's play the misogyny card. Let's go. It wasn't the speech itself against Abbott, but let's exploit this. Let's talk it up. Let's use it politically. Now that almost demeans the argument to me.
Well, look, I don't know how much.
Do you remember that report?
I don't actually, okay. But regardless, I think these are the issues that I grapple with in the book. Actually, that to call out this behaviour in and of itself is one of the hardest things to do, because you are instantly caught between being accused of being a hypocrite or some kind of nasty person because you're focusing on this, or you're not up to the job and you're playing the gender card. It's one of the oldest tricks in the book to keep women in their place, actually, to say, if you come out and you speak about these things, you're either too precious or you're playing the victim.
But let's not put female politicians or any female leader above criticism. I mean, Yasmin Abdel-Magid's an example. I mean, she's a dill. And that's nothing to do with her gender. She's just a dill.
I'm well and truly used to criticism. I give as good as I get. I've spent 10 years in the Parliament and in public life talking about issues that are controversial and not shying away from that. However, there is a line, and I think when you get to the use of sexualised, sexist put-downs, cross that line. And it happens to women much more than it happens to men, and it should be called out. And I also think men want it called out as well, because often this is not about just making the world better for women. If we have true equality, if we actually want people to be treated equally, it's better for everybody.